The Name Jar by Yangsook Choi is a beautifully illustrated children's book that explores themes of identity, cultural differences, and self-acceptance. This heartwarming story follows a young Korean girl named Unhei, who has just moved to America with her family. As she begins her new life in a foreign country, she grapples with the complexities of fitting in and finding her place in a classroom of strangers. The story of The Name Jar gently introduces readers to the challenges that come with being different, while offering a lesson in embracing one's heritage and identity. Through Unhei's experience, children learn the importance of respecting others' backgrounds and understanding that personal names, much like people, carry deep meaning and significance. Choi's story touches on universal themes of acceptance, cultural pride, and friendship, making it a valuable read for both children and adults alike. Beginning. A new beginning in a new land. Unhei, a young girl from Korea, finds herself starting over in a new land. Her family has recently relocated to the United States, and Unhei is preparing to attend her first day of school in a small town. As she stands before a mirror, she practices how to say her name, worried that the kids in her new school might not be able to pronounce it properly. This is the first sign that Unhei is struggling with her identity. She feels a growing sense of uncertainty and anxiety about her name, which is a crucial part of who she is. On the first day of school, Unhei encounters her classmates, who struggle to say her name correctly. Some of the children make fun of her name, mispronouncing it in various ways. This hurtful experience makes Unhei even more self-conscious about her name and her Korean background. She wants to fit in and be accepted by her classmates, but she feels that her name, so distinctly Korean, is a barrier to forming connections. In an effort to blend in and avoid further embarrassment, Unhei tells her teacher, Mrs. Cook, that she would like to choose a new American name. Mrs. Cook, understanding Unhei's hesitation, suggests that the class could help her pick a name. This idea sparks the creation of the Name Jar, a jar that will hold suggestions from her classmates for a new name. Middle. A journey of doubts and discovery. Unhei's decision to change her name is not without conflict. As she navigates the school day, she begins to question her own feelings about her Korean name. She wonders if it's worth keeping a name that is hard for others to pronounce, or if she should let go of her cultural identity to fit in. The Name Jar becomes a symbol of Unhei's internal conflict between embracing who she is and the desire to be accepted by her peers. Meanwhile, Unhei becomes friends with a classmate named Joey, who is a kind and supportive boy. Joey takes an interest in Unhei's story and learns about the significance of her name in Korean culture. Unhei explains that her name means grace and that it was carefully chosen by her grandmother, who believes that Unhei will grow up to be a wise and graceful person. Joey's understanding of the cultural value behind Unhei's name gives Unhei a sense of comfort, but she still grapples with the fear of being different. As the Name Jar fills up with various name suggestions, Unhei becomes increasingly conflicted. Each name seems to represent a part of her classmates' culture, but none of them feel like her own. The Name Jar, once a source of hope, becomes a reminder of her struggle with self-acceptance. She is torn between wanting to honor her heritage and the pressure to fit into a new culture. Climax. A moment of courage and truth. The turning point in the story comes when Unhei realizes that the names suggested in the jar, though well-intentioned, are not her. They do not reflect her history, or her identity. She begins to understand that her name, no matter how difficult it might be for others to pronounce, is a part of who she is. It connects her to her family, her culture, and her heritage. In an act of courage, Unhei finally decides that she will keep her Korean name. She feels a renewed sense of pride and confidence in her decision, realizing that true acceptance comes from within. She doesn't need to change her name to fit in with others. She simply needs to embrace who she is. When Unhei's classmates see her confidence in embracing her name, they are inspired. They realize that names are not just words. They carry meaning, history, and love. They begin to make an effort to learn how to say Unhei's name properly, respecting her cultural identity. Unhei's decision to honor her heritage teaches her classmates a valuable lesson in understanding and respect. Resolution. Acceptance and celebration of identity. The story concludes with Unhei proudly writing her name on the board for the class, knowing that her name represents not just herself but the strength and love of her family. Her classmates, who once struggled to pronounce her name, now pronounce it with ease and respect. Unhei has found her place in the class, not by changing herself to fit in, but by staying true to who she is. She has learned that being different is not something to be ashamed of, but something to be proud of. The name jar is ultimately left behind as a symbol of Unhei's journey toward self-acceptance. It is replaced with a deeper understanding that the beauty of names lies in their uniqueness and meaning. Unhei no longer feels the need to change her name to fit into her new world. Instead, she embraces her identity and the richness of her cultural background. Final thoughts. A story of empowerment and pride. The Name Jar is a timeless story about the importance of cultural identity, acceptance, and self-confidence. Through Unhei's journey, Yangsook Choi captures the universal struggle of feeling different and the pressure to conform to societal norms. The story reminds readers, both young and old, that our names are not just labels. They are a reflection of who we are, where we come from, and the love that has shaped us. The book offers a valuable lesson for children about the power of names and the significance of cultural heritage. It also teaches the importance of respect and understanding for people who may come from different backgrounds. Unhei's journey encourages children to celebrate their uniqueness and to appreciate the diversity that exists in the world. Through Unhei's story, the Name Jar becomes not only a celebration of cultural pride, but also a reminder that true belonging comes from embracing who we are, rather than changing ourselves to fit the expectations of others. It's a story that resonates with anyone who has ever struggled to find their place in the world, and it serves as an empowering message for children to embrace their identities with confidence and pride. Stay tuned for more enlightening content. Head over to www.mybookssummary.com. Don't forget to subscribe and share the magic with friends. And let's grow together through the power of books and interesting stories.